The next piece that we have for you is by an educator that I've been familiar with for a long time named Timothy Lois. He actually wrote what I consider to be the book on middle school band warm-up. He's a phenomenal educator. And then I found out he was composing music. I was really excited to start programming his material with our groups as well. So the next piece we have for you is by a composer who has impacted pretty much every day of the instruction in our classroom because he wrote a lot of the warm-up materials that we do, but now we get an opportunity to play something creative that he's created as well. So the next piece that we have for you is a wonderful piece titled Chorale and Mystic Chant. So the next piece we have for you is another holiday and medley favorite. Switch that around. Another medley of holiday favorites titled Christmas Bits and Pieces. And there's been several mornings, or there have been several mornings where as I'm coming in and students are filing in, they've started to kind of spontaneously play this piece. So it's been really fun working on it because they really seem to enjoy the piece, and it kind of has played itself as our 8th graders have worked on it. So they must have really enjoyed working with this, and you can kind of tell in the performance. So the next piece we have for you is a holiday medley that moves at breakneck speed from one melody to the other, titled Christmas Bits and Pieces. Before we perform our last piece for you this evening, I want to say a few thank yous. To begin with, I want to thank all the parent volunteers who have worked with us over the past 2 evenings in giving up their time to work backstage with their students as they transition from location to location. I want to thank Century High School for hosting us, and specifically Mrs. Norris Workman for providing much of the equipment that is on stage. Of course, performing a concert outside of your own building is kind of a nerve-wracking task, and she does a wonderful job of kind of allaying my fears as I come into a new space and try to put on a performance, and she's just a wonderful facilitator for us, and I really appreciate that. I also want to thank both Mr. Grillhart and Mrs. Hill, who have given up their evenings over the past 2 evenings to be here with us. And finally, I want to thank, actually 2 more people I want to thank. I'd like to thank Mrs. Sobchak, who no longer has a student at Sykesville, has not for a couple of years, and continues to do our programs for us and volunteer at our concerts. She's a huge help to us. And then finally, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to borrow your children for 45 minutes or so every other day and get a chance to make music. It's a wonderful experience working at Sykesville. This is year 15 for me, and I just love where I am and have a blast working with your students and with the community here. So thank you. The last piece we have for you is a really exciting piece that a couple of my students had the opportunity to play in settings outside of our band, some at Hall County and one at a band camp over the summer with the composer, Roland Barrett. Wonderful, wonderful piece of music. Before we play that, though, I also, with this group, would like to recognize the folks that were involved in our Hall County Band and Orchestra. So those folks could please stand. We have for you this evening is a piece titled Arabian Dances. Before we play it, I actually want to highlight, usually we do this at the end, but I'm going to do it at the beginning because it's the last piece. Could we have our soloists stand up? We have a few soloists. It was a little awkward after the last piece to recognize them, so I'll recognize them preemptively. The last piece we have for you is Roland Barrett's Arabian Dances. And so once again, thank you so much for being here. If you're in the position to do so, enjoy the extra 2 hours of sleep tomorrow. And please do have a safe trip home this evening. Thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for supporting us. And hopefully we'll see you in the spring. Thank you very much.